We love doing this. This is a labor of love to talk about people in our community giving back. Today's guest is Ashley Furst. She is the Marketing and Communications Manager with Goodwill. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. It means a lot for you to stop by and tell us about what you do and the organization and whatnot. But let's talk about you a little bit. You're not from here like originally, right?
No. I'm originally from Florida. Again, not a crazy Floridian. Always have to give that disclaimer. Florida gets a bad rap sometimes. But I lived in Baltimore for most of my life before moving out here. So go Ravens. Sorry, Denver fans.
Shout out to the Nay, you love who you love.
We know who we are.
And now you live here and you're serving this great community. What does it mean to be able to do what you do? And because this community is rich with, a lot of history and, giving back to it. So tell me what that means for you to be able to do that.
Yeah. I mean, Goodwill, what drew me to Goodwill of Colorado in particular is our mission, right? We help individuals overcome those barriers to personal and economic independence through job placement, education, and training. And I'm actually just as impacted individual. So Goodwill is obviously a fair chance employer and gives people a hand up when they need it. And they gave me a hand up when I needed it. And I've heard so many stories of people who've been impacted by Goodwill of Colorado and our programs and services and workforce development programs that we offer. So I was immediately drawn to the work that Goodwill does.
Yeah, there's a lot of programs. We were kind of talking about this, like the stuff that you did not know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I thought it was just the stores that
Yes.
you go and thrift shop and that's
Yes.
it. But yeah, I'm really impressed by all the different things you guys do in the community.
Yeah, we get told I had no idea a lot because, yes, there's when people think of Goodwill, they just think of our thrift stores, but our thrift stores are really the engine that allow us to provide those free programs and services to the community. So we've been in Colorado actually for over a century, since 1918,
Wow.
giving people access to those life and career pathways that help them live their life to their fullest potential. Workforce development programs like our IT training, where you can get free in-demand industry certifications such as CompTIA certifications. We also have our BankWorks program, which provides free training for employment into entry-level roles in the banking industry. So we have so many different workforce development opportunities to help people thrive.
That's awesome. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So when people shop at the stores, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but that is sort of like, well, you're contributing to the overall mission.
100%. Yeah. You, by shopping and donating to Goodwill, not only are you actually making a conscious choice related to sustainability, right, and preserving our
Right.
environment, but you're also helping grow the economy and the community, because shopping at our thrift stores and donating those goods help us actively work on our mission and our vision of transforming people's lives. Approximately 90 cents of every dollar actually goes back into the programs and services that we provide to the community because of our thrift stores. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been donating for most of my life. I mean, it's the first thing that comes. I know there's other places where you could donate, so on and so forth, and they do great work just the same. But first that comes to mind is Goodwill. Like, give it to Goodwill, take it to Goodwill, or find it at Goodwill. Let's talk about the I don't want to call it a trend, but it is somewhat of a trend for people of thrifting, right?
Yes.
Buying clothes and finding like antiques or whatever it is. You guys welcome that? Not that you would frown at it, but it's a trend right now to be able to go thrifting, right?
Yeah, it's like the thrill of the thrift, right? Because you never know what you're going to find when you go in the stores. And what I think is so interesting is how fashion is cyclical, right? So I just turned 40 this year, right? So, you're seeing that like 90s fashion, right? Come back and play what you can find in all of the stores. So, and I think particularly the younger generation is really hip to that sustainability and going into thrift stores and seeing what unique items you can find that aren't necessarily fast fashion.
Right.
Finding those unique T-shirts or pants or shoes to really help them feel like they're an individual, stand out with who they are.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at some of the programs that the thrift stores help fund, and I'm just like really kind of taken aback. Like you have assistance for farmers and ranchers. You already talked about job placement, but then there's low income energy assistance, resource navigation. It sort of seems to run the gamut.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, our AgriBility program is run in conjunction with Colorado State University. So we help farmers who may have some sort of disability that could prevent them from actively working on their farm. For example, we helped a young lady get a motorized wheelchair to help her get over the terrain so she could take care of the goats on her farm.
Wow.
So that's a really, really cool program. And we also are partnered with the state for the LEAP program that you mentioned, the the energy program to help provide assistance for energy bills. Yeah. So.
Nice. And then people who are employed there, how is it easy to get employed there? Or is there any type of requirement or can anyone work there? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're a fair chance employer. So, of course, justice impacted individuals, we look at someone and look at the skills and the value that they can bring to the role. So that's kind of that skills-based hiring. And we have anywhere from entry-level positions to, marketing positions. It just depends on what you're looking for. And Goodwill in general, just as a company, as well as with the job placement and career development that we do, we operate on an ABC model. So any job, a better job and career. So we can help you get any job just to help you get your foot in the door, get income coming in, and then we continue to work with you to help develop additional skill sets or upskilling opportunities to progress to that better job and then ultimately a career.
That's awesome. And looking at some stats here real quick, Lamali, before you go, Goodwill received, recycled, and repurposed 235,000. Is that million?
Yeah, 248 million. Yeah.
Wow. Pounds of materials to preserve our environment and boost our economy. That's incredible.
Yeah. So to over 248 million pounds of materials we received, recycled, or repurposed, which equates to being able to keep about 85% of donated items out of Colorado landfills. Wow. We also have a partnership with Dell Reconnect where last year we kept over 370 tons of hazardous materials out of landfills. So,
wow.
Those computer parts that can leak into like waterways and things like that. So we're really proud of that partnership.
I love that consciousness. That's awesome.
Yeah.
If people are looking for to access your services, what's the best way for them to go about it?
Yeah, I would recommend visiting our website. So it's just goodwillcolorado.org. You can find information about all of our programs and services, phone numbers to contact. You can also just fill out the general contact form, and we can, of course, pass your information along to the respective team. But I would just recommend visiting the website right now. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and reach out to us through there as well, and we can, again, direct you to the best person.
And for anyone out there listening right now, there's what if there was one thing you wanted them to know, or maybe a couple of things that you wanted them to know about you, maybe any misconceptions or how things are and what you guys do, because these programs they're helping a lot of people and what you're doing, the environment, so on and so forth. What would you say to those people listening right now?
Yeah, I would just say that, we have a social enterprise ecosystem that really helps us work on our mission and our vision. So that is comprised of our thrift stores, of our donation centers where we receive the donated items, our e-commerce, our outlets, which we have 3 up here in Denver alone, as well as those recycling and salvage efforts. All of that helps contribute to our mission and our vision to transform people's lives and allows us to continue to provide those life-changing programs and workforce development services. So, and our thrift stores are also, they're a big part of what helps us do that. Like I said, 90 cents of every dollar, and we're so appreciative of all of the shoppers that come and shop with us and our donations. And of course, our ultimate goal is to always be good stewards of the donated items that we receive, because again, that helps us achieve our mission and our vision and helps us put things back into the Colorado community to help everyone be successful.
Transformative is a great word. I love that.
Yeah, I really feel like I have already learned so much, because I always kind of pictured it as they have these stores and then maybe they donate the money to something or whatever. But hearing really the individual impact that you all have is very powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, the human side of it is really, really impactful. We recently held our annual dinner a couple weeks ago where we honored 5 individuals whose life had been changed by Goodwill, whether through direct employment or the career development services that we offer. And, there's so many different stories. We had 2 individuals who fled from a refugee situation, and now they work for our contracts division down in the Springs. We had another justice impacted individual who is now a supervisor at one of our outlets overseeing sustainability. So there's just so many different ways we can impact individuals' lives. And like I said, we like to give people a hand up because at every point in someone's life, someone has needed a hand up.
Absolutely.
And we are always there to help people when they need it.
And that's great. And on a personal level, Ashley, how does this fulfill you to be able to do what you're doing, this mission work?
Yeah, I've actually worked for nonprofits my entire career. So, but again, I have that personal tie to Goodwill of Colorado. They gave me a hand up when I came home from prison, and again, just looked at the value I could bring to the world. I actually started when I was living in the halfway house. I started working in one of our stores as a production associate, and then worked my way up into this role I'm at now. And again, they just looked at me as a person and, valued the experience and skills I could bring to a role. So
that's very, very important. Okay, now we mentioned earlier about something that's coming up, or is there an event or a program or something you wanted to mention?
We are really excited to announce we're opening Colorado's first in-person adult learning high school. It's called the Excel Center.
Wow.
The first one is slated to open this coming August in Aurora, and we have a vision to hopefully have 5 throughout the state. So in Colorado alone, there are over 300,000 adults who do not have their high school diploma, which of course significantly limits their career potential and earning power. So this is a real opportunity for them to get their high school diploma at absolutely no cost to them. We'll also be providing free drop-in childcare because, of course, that's a huge barrier for adults sometimes, wanting to go back to school. So we'll have free childcare, mentoring, life coaching. We'll also be offering dual college credits, ESL instruction, and micro-credentials to anyone who attends. So we're really, really excited about that. So
that's
definitely stay
amazing.
tuned for more information about
That's
that.
huge.
Yeah,
So cool.
that's good stuff for all our listeners out there. Let's give them some information. Like, how can they contact? I know you mentioned it earlier, but is there an email, the website, obviously?
Yep.
And then I guess you guys will post on social media about this school. Okay, so give them all the details.
Yes, yeah. So our website is goodwillcolorado.org. Definitely encourage everyone to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, just Goodwill of Colorado. For the Excel Center specifically, we also have a Facebook page set up for that. So you can just search Excel Center Colorado, and that will come up, and you can follow us there for more updates specifically on the Excel Center, but also at our Goodwill of Colorado pages to stay up to date on events that are happening in the community, as well as sometimes we do giveaways for gift certificates to the stores. So definitely be sure to follow us on there.
Love that. Ashley Furst, Marketing and Communications Manager, Goodwill, Colorado, doing a lot of good work.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
so
you so
glad
much.
to learn about all of that.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing that with our listeners and with us.